Hi guys, I'm Sarah. I'm business advisor and I've been working at Odoo for more than 2 years in the sales department. I'm super excited to be with you today. We will see lots of new features for the V15 that will be launched in the first week of October. Our teams have been working very hard for those new features, so I hope you will enjoy it as well. The topic of today will be how to improve your website's conversion rate. So it's super interesting because it will link the website application and the email marketing approach, so newsletter marketing campaigns. You know nowadays that it's crucial to be visible online, but not only be visible, it's also super important to understand what your customer wants, what he's expecting from your from your product, sorry, or your service. So we will see new features on the website application, and we will see it through a demonstration later. Mainly, we will see the website app. It will be linked to e-commerce and also email marketing, but we will configure the new features on the website application to improve that conversion rate. I will explain you what it is in 1 second. Just a small parenthesis. Here we will imagine in this talk that you are Elon Musk, Tesla CEO, because the website will be built with that topic. And a small information regarding the website that you create with Odoo. It's super important to know that it's mobile responsive. If you create one website with Odoo, or if you already have one, you have to know that visitors can use any device, so smartphone, tablet, or even a computer to connect on your website. And it's super cool that it's mobile responsive. But before to enter into a demonstration, what is the conversion rate? You just a small definition. It's the number of conversions divided by the total number of visitors you have on your website. If you better understand with numbers, you can imagine, for example, if you take 200 visitors and you do 50 sales a month, you just have to take 50 divided by 200 and you get the conversion rate. So it's 25%. It's a huge conversion rate. It's not very realistic, but the goal today is to see tools or new features to improve and to increase that percentage. And just to have an idea, when you create a website for the whole websites that are created today, the conversion rate comes between 0.1 to 0.2% on average. So for example, again, in terms of numbers, 1,000 visitors transforms or turns out to be just one prospect or one real buyer. Why is the conversion rate key? It's key because it creates methods, tools, as I explained in the previous slides, to transform shoppers into real buyers when, for example, they buy online directly through the e-shop, the e-commerce. And for that, Odoo sets up many solutions, many features to improve that percentage that are directly linked to a marketing approach. So we will see it, for example, through a newsletter or a pop-up on exit. So the aim, of course, of the conversion rate is to convert the prospect, as much prospects as possible, into real buyers through their demand. If they want, for example, to subscribe to a newsletter, or to simply ask a question through a contact form, or if they already have done their choice, then they can directly buy online through your e-shop. So we will see those features. So what Odoo proposes to improve that measure, we will see an example with share a coupon. So I will explain you how to configure that in Odoo. So the goal for that is to create a promotional code, to generate a promotional code for a specific type of prospect for a certain period of time. The second one is very interesting because you can control your prospects on what they see in your website pages. So it's a dynamic content. We will take an example with the language afterwards. And then the newsletter, as I explained previously. So you keep the attention of your prospects by creating marketing campaigns and doing the follow-up through the email marketing application. And also regarding the pop-up exit, that new feature is very interesting because it's aggressive marketing approach. You convince your prospect to stay with amazing last-minute deals. So let's start with the demonstration. We will just switch the room and we will see those examples. So now for the demonstration, we will review 4 features together. So we will start with the newsletter. We will first go on the email marketing and see if my mailing list is ready. So for the example, Elon Musk wants that people can order cars for their company, for their employees. It means that we will go on a B2B newsletter for the marketing approach. So once it is ready, we can go directly on the website and add a newsletter pop-up. I will put the edit mode and search here on the bar newsletter. I see here the blog, but I would like to put it under the 3 image texts. Then here on the pop-up block, you just configure it as you want. So for example, sign up to attract people, be the first to find all the latest news, etc. So we can keep that text. And here on the subscribe, it's super important to see what's the link with the email marketing campaigns you want to set up. This is why you just click here and on the newsletter form, you see if the B2B newsletter is linked or not. Okay, so it's linked automatically, so we can save that information and we can do the example together. So imagine that I'm Fabien, Odoo CEO, and I want to order many Teslas for my employee. I just want to know the latest offers. So I'll just write down my email like this. And I will subscribe. And by subscribing, Elon Musk can see in the backend of Odoo the mailing list that has been updated. We went to from 7 to 8 contacts. So what you can do now is just to create, go back to the email marketing to create your campaign. So it's very easy. You just put here the subject, you set up the mailing list with here the B2B approach, you select the templates, also very easy to configure it. For example, adding a banner and other things. You just save it and then you can schedule. We just need to put a small subject and you can schedule it on a future date. For example, next Friday, we schedule it, and then we will be able to collect many data to see what the prospect is looking for. If he receives the email, open it, click on it, etc. So that was the first feature. Now the second one, it's super cool also, is the coupon program. So we can easily find it also here by writing down, and we can create one. So let's imagine that you want to offer a free wall connector each time someone orders on your website a Model S. So we will write down get a free wall connector. It will be based on the product Model S because it's each time that I order that car that I will get a free connector. So we will just edit the domain here, delete that one and add another one based on the product, the Model S. Yes, contains model. And Odoo will update my records here. I just see the Model S, so it's correct. And I will select a free product and select my wall connector. I will just set up a validity duration of 5 days in a total. Okay, so once it is configured, then you can save and generate the coupons. So when you're going to generate the coupons, you will see here the information updated. So we will just generate the coupons, and you have 2 cases. The first one, it's general coupons, which are not linked to customer, and that one with selected customer. It means that you can generate a promotional code for a specific type of customer or prospect. So we have 2 records in a total. So we will just select, for example, the country. I just want to target and give a promotional code for my Spanish prospect. So I will select that one, which contains the country Spain. I see that I went from 12 to 2 records. I just checking Carlos and Jesus. So I generate those coupons, and every time I see those coupons, I can send them by email. So you have that pop-up here with the dynamic email with the PDF, so you can just send it to all your prospects. So we will just, for the example, generate a general one that I will use to show you how it works in the eShop. So I will just select that code, copy paste, go back on my website. Imagine that you are a Lambda visitor. I will go on the shop. I will select my Model S, add it to my card, and then I know that I have a promotional code, so I will also select the wall connector. I also add it to my card, and then I want to preset the checkout. So I view my card, and I have here on my right a promotional code. So let's paste it, apply, and then you see that you have a free product wall connector, and then you can process to the checkout and write down your address and then confirm the order and pay. So that was the second example, the share coupon, which is really interesting because it's aggressive marketing approach for people that are almost ready to buy, and they can go faster with a promotional code. So the third one is the dynamic content. So it's also really cool feature in the way that you can select what people see in the website. You all know that in Odoo, the website, Odoo website recognizes, the IP address. So if I do a trip now to Spain, the website will appear in Spain because I'm in this country. We can play also with the languages. This is the example we will do today. So I just put it on edit mode. Be sure that you have many languages available in the website. So this is a configuration that you need to do before. I will select here the footer, and for the language selector, put it on inline. When I save it, I will consider that my business model as solar panels will only be available for Spanish people. Of course, South countries have much more sun, and I can set up a condition based on the language. So conditionally for the visibility, and I will say that this business model, this approach of my company will only be visible for people that speak Spanish. When I save this, don't forget that now I'm in Belgium, and Odoo recognizes that I'm in this country. So if I scroll down, you will see that solar panels block disappear because Odoo considers that I'm in Belgium. But if I change the language, imagine that we go on a short trip to Madrid, and I open your website. If I scroll down, I will see the solar panels. It means that Odoo can set up some visibility conditions, and you can put it on every block just to guide what you want that people see in your website. And the last one is the pop-up on exit, which is also very interesting. I'll just put it back in English. Great. So we will go back on the edit mode and then search for that new pop-up. I will put it on the landing page with the example that imagine you do some research on Google, and then you arrive at my website, and I want you to not leave very quickly on my website. So I will just put this pop-up and it will tend you to have additional discount when you buy something on my website. So here on the pop-up, we'll say just 10%. And we will, of course, modify here the text, 10% off if you on your first order for example, the Model S. Just pay attention here that you want to redirect the prospect. It means that you can here modify the link tracker. And instead of just putting a pop-up without redirect URL, you can set up here the URL, or for example, for the eShop. Let me check. If I just write down shop. Yes, Odoo proposes me here. And one last information is the display here. It's a pop-up on exit. It means that on the page, I want that pop-up appears when the visitor will leave your page. You can set up here the days and then just show on this page, but you can set up on whole pages if you want to be more aggressive in your marketing approach. We save that information. And as an example, if I tend to leave the website, just putting my mouse here, you see that the pop-up appears. And then it will give me the opportunity to click on that new link to be redirected to the e-commerce page. So it's also another way to improve the conversion rate on your website, to keep the prospects on your website, to know better their habits and also their behavior.
Hey, Elon, if you're watching this talk, don't hesitate to contact us. Our marketing team and our sales team is ready to take you.
Now that the demo is done, let's start the Q&A session.
All right. Thanks, Sarah, for this very interesting talk. Just right now, let's start the Q&A session together. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Let's start with the first question that we have. So let's jump into this one. Why is the conversion rate so key, so important, actually?
So as you saw during the demonstration, it's super important to improve that conversion rate, and it's key because you saw that we can transform the shoppers into real buyers. So you can have an aggressive approach to sell your items through the web shop.
Okay. Okay, great. And in this case, I mean, this is the goal is to target even more at some point, I guess.
Exactly, yes. So you can target the people, so you can really understand what people are looking for on your website, from your product, your service. So you can target them, yes.
All right. Okay. Second question here. How can we use the dynamic content to improve the conversion rate?
The dynamic content is really interesting because, but we saw in the demonstration, so you can set up some conditions to better understand the visitors you have on the website. And with that dynamic content, it can be related to the language, as we saw during the example, or it can be related to a country or even a source to link that visitor and to understand his behavior. So it's really important to improve that conversion rate with the conditions that you set up on the website.
Is that something that is easy to set up? I mean, can everyone without specific web design and web understanding can understand actually the logic behind to use it?
No, it's not really complicated. It's just to understand the features, for example, those that Odoo proposes. And once you understand, you don't have to be competent to set up those conditions.
All right. Okay, great. Here we do have another question. Why are newsletters important for the conversion rate?
So this is also key. The newsletters are super important because actually you can set up some marketing campaigns. So you can understand, as I said, the behavior of the visitor, and then have an idea on how to inform the visitor. For example, if you launch a new product, you want to link that marketing campaign to the website. So if, for example, the visitor comes from Facebook, then you can set up a marketing campaign for people who come from the Facebook. So you can link that marketing campaign to the conditions that you set up in the website.
And when do you think actually we do have an impact in terms of newsletters for this conversion rate? When do you think it's a good time actually to target them and to segment them? At the beginning actually of the relationship with them? At the middle? Is there actually some tool that you can?
I would say it depends on the strategy that you set up on your company. I would personally I would relaunch them in the beginning
Okay.
to create that relationship with the client, the prospect, and then launching them with a seasonality.
Yeah.
I think. So it depends on the strategy. You can do a marketing approach, an aggressive one, and you launch the visitor with marketing campaigns and mass mailings,
Yeah.
or you can just set up a long-term relationship. But I would say it depends.
Yeah, okay, sure. Here, a question about the SEO. What about the SEO? How the conversation rate can improve actually the SEO strategy of a company?
It can be related. I would say it's also super important because when you create a website, people don't know you, and it's related to the Google ranking. So people, when they search something online, you want to be on the top of the pages. So you can improve the SEO on the website. Odoo proposes that. So you can set up some words and also
Some keywords,
images,
yeah.
keywords,
Yeah.
exactly. So I would say with the examples that we saw today, you can also improve the SEO and you will improve the conversion rate.
Sure, totally makes sense. Yeah. Here, another questions that we have here is actually either the possibility than other models than contact form to improve the conversation rate. Is it actually another model that we can be used in Odoo than the contact form model?
So yes, the basic example, of course, is the contact form. I would say because we always want to put a contact form at the end of the website or a specific page so that people can contact you just to ask a question. But Odoo go further than that, and then they propose we can have that feature in Odoo to, for example, create a task on a specific project, or even just create a customer on the contact application, or even something related to the CRM, so the opportunity.
Yep.
So you can manage those models in Odoo, and yes, it also gives you an indication of what the visitor is looking for.
Okay. 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 Next question here about the pop-ups. So can we have multiple pop-ups?
Yes, of course. We can have multiple pop-ups on multiple pages. So it depends also on how you build your website. But I just set up one during the demonstration. But of course, you can set up many pop-ups on all the pages you have in the website.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Can we manage referral codes for resellers?
Yes, I never tested it, but I would say yes regarding the logic of Odoo. So you can generate codes through the coupons, and then do, for example, a mass mailing to the resellers, give the codes, and then they would be able to use them. And it's also interesting because you can put a specific login for the B2B clients you have on the website, so they can log in on your website and, for example, set up that code and to have the discount.
Okay. All right. Here we got a question. Can I make the entire web shop invisible for a specific country? What would you recommend?
The entire web shop, no. I think you can, through the features, you would have to select each block and to set up that condition. But I don't think it's possible for the whole page.
Okay. Here we have actually another question regarding are we able to do dynamic content based on customer segmentation, customer purchase history, for instance?
So are we able to do dynamic content based on the customer segmentation? So I would have to test it. I prefer not to answer now, but you can contact me on my mail address and we can discuss about that.
All right. Guys, don't hesitate to shoot the different questions that you may have right now. Here we do have another question. Can you hide some products for B2C customers, for instance?
You can hide, yes. It is on the. You can hide it on the HTML code. You can hide some specific products.
All right. The possibilities to follow clicks of visitors on websites. Any thoughts?
Yes, yes. We have a smart button, and it shows the pages on which the visitors click on the website. So this is something you can find in the website application.
Okay. All right. Here, how do you define conversion rate for B2B website which don't have e-commerce?
Mhm. So, but you don't have to have an e-commerce to improve the conversion rate because it's
Just not
related to a
mandatory.
website. It's
Yes.
not mandatory now.
Okay, okay. Look at
Google Analytics, I saw in one of the questions, is also a good tool to improve the conversion website. It's related to SEO, so you can work with Google Analytics, AdWords. So those are many tools that you can use, yes.
Okay. All right. Guys, if you do have any additional questions to ask, don't hesitate.
Yes, you can reach me also if you want to discuss about the project that you have. You can send me an email directly to sbc@odoo.com.
All right. Perfect. So thanks for attending this talk. Thank you, Sarah, again
Thank you,
for all the
Adrien.
information, and happy Odoo experience for everyone.